So one thing about this car. Hello everybody, my name is Skya and this is going to be my first YouTube video. I can't believe it, but we're just going to go ahead and get into this video. I'm going to do a car tour, all the things kind of about my car, the process, what I went through, how long it took and things like that, and questions people have asked me about it. I want to see the car, what's going on with the car, let me see, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll get into the story time, so if you want to stay tuned to the end, do that. And yeah, let's get into it. So obviously we had to start with the outside, but this is how she looks. She is a 2022 Honda Elantra Limited, so she comes with a lot of little features and stuff. So let's get into it. Showing y'all from the back seat what it looks like, just because the view will be a little better. But that's my steering wheel, obviously, and then we have my dashboard and all that stuff, and I can also turn it on just so y'all can see. Let's see if it turned on. This is what my key looks like. Super cute. So I'm about to lock it and turn it on. So that's how she starts up. And I'm gonna show y'all these modes. Obviously I've been in the car now, so it's a little dirty, but there's the drive mode. That's the sport drive mode, the smart, and then the normal. So this is the basic one that always comes on, but I always drive it in this one just because I like it because it's red. But I'm in the back seat, so I can't turn it on. But a couple of things, I got this, I think was already in there when the dealership gave it to me, but that is all my buttons for my mirrors, my windows, all those things. My lane assist, I think something with my lights brightness, the dashboard brightness, and then traction and a little bit there. And then my dashboard looks like this. And then when I press this button, this changes the middle. And obviously I'll probably have to be driving. But if it's not on the car, this like setting or whatever, it'll show like the compass. But this is how I talk to my car. Don't mind my nails. The mode is the radio, my volume, my changing my songs and stuff. So I'm doing my CarPlay, answer, hang it up. This helps with keeping my car aligned. So if I do kind of go out of the, what's the word? Out of the lane, it'll kind of move my car back in. And then this one lets me know if a car is coming up like behind me or front. I think both. I know automatically it does it for the front, but I think the back does it too. And then my cruise control, this is just like setting the settings on my dashboard, and then this is just play, pause, restart, and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm about to get back in my car. My alarm just went off. So this is what you see when I get in. To start it, there's my start button. That's how she starts up. Let me turn this down. But I've already programmed my little setup or whatever, but you can program more than one person, whoever may be driving your car. I'm gonna turn this off too. And usually what I can do, once I have my Apple CarPlay on, like my phone is plugged up, I have the USB, but I've heard that it does have this too, but I don't know. Yes, I'm recording my phone. I decided to not use my camera, but hey guys. So yeah, so these are my other buttons: the map, the navigation, radio. Media is anything from Bluetooth to CarPlay, Android Auto, whichever. These help with the radio. I program my car so that the start button, once I plug my phone up, it goes to my Apple CarPlay, so that way I don't have to go back and forth through the thing. And then setup right here, I can also show this too. This is how I change these lights, my ambient lights. I do have those. It only is on the front portion of my car. Totally fine, but just all types of little different things. Ambient lighting, the brightness, I do leave it all the way up because I want to see it. But you can change it from different colors. These are some of the options. Or you can have a custom color, which is what I did. I kind of went between like a pink and red just to get it as dark as possible. But blue, let's do like a green. I can't really see that one. purple, you know, like different things. I think the purple is not too bad. But yeah. Okay, so those are some of the things too. Like I was saying, drive mode, all those things. Another good thing is when I am in drive and someone is like driving away and I'm not paying attention, this side of my car will show that the leading car in front of me has moved on. So like pay attention and it'll do like a little sound. But this is how she looks as well. So kind of like a 180 view. It's light gray interior and it does have like material on the back, as you can see. And then I also do have okay, so back to what I was saying. I do have a sunroof, which I can open this part and then I can let it up if I just press it or hold it. Oh yeah, if I hold it I can just let it up, kind of like do that little sport looking thing. And if I want to actually open it, I would go up here and just hold it back, and then that's what happens. So that's that. Let me close that back. The bugs are trying to get me. Oh, okay. Wait, is it open? See, child. A lot in my car, but I have my hand sanitizer down there. I keep this bottle, and honestly I put alcohol in here. So one thing about this car, it doesn't have the USB-C, so it has USBs. So I bought that to connect to my C port. But I bought this also just to go in there for when my brothers are in the car. And then there's another USB as well. This car also does have wireless charging, so I can sit my phone right here and then it'll charge. Something else that's cool is if you have like a taller cup and you need more space, so the car does this cool thing where I can turn it and then it'll be deeper. So really, really cool. Most of the time I have my Stanley, so I keep it on the deeper one, but I've been riding around with it like this. So but yeah, and then here is my console. I don't have that much in here honestly, but a couple of things, but it's actually pretty spacious. Like I can fit my hand in there, but it only has one oh poor straw. It only has one level. I've been trying to figure out how to put these straws in here, as you guys can see. There we go. And then my glove compartment is over here with all my good paperwork stuff. And that's kind of the view. So this is what it looks like with me driving. She's honestly really spacious, but I think my favorite feature is the sunroof, obviously. But this is how it looks if you're driving. This is how the mirror would look. So one thing about this car, that was really nice. One thing about this car, the back windshield is actually fairly small. So seeing out of it is kind of hard because of the way that this part goes up instead of just being flat, if that makes sense. If you drive one of these, you know what I mean, versus like another car. But this is how she looks. This is my view. And yeah. The story time on my car, I did finance this car. I worked with the credit union to do it, and I ended up using my mom's credit union. She told me kind of the process, what to do, and then I ended up talking to the people. I ended up really trying to see what would fit a budget that I feel like I'm comfortable paying a car note, car insurance, all those good things monthly. So I kind of broke it down that way, and then I asked for a certain amount of money to pay for a car. Now I didn't know what car I wanted. I did have ideas, but honestly at the end of the day, if you have a budget, you got to stay within the budget, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up asking for this amount of money, and they gave me basically that, but just a little under. And they pretty much were like, this is the amount you'll get, and then obviously according to whatever your credit score is, that'll determine like your interest rate and stuff like that. Another question I got was like, how does it work to set it up? So one thing I liked about the credit union that I used was they had a car service. So instead of trying to do all the paperwork, find the car, all those things that are fit my budget, payments and all that, they do it for you. They kind of have their own line of system and direct contact with certain people at certain dealerships, if that makes sense. So it kind of cuts out having to do so much documentation, find everything, know exactly what you need to sign before you go, when you go, after you go, all those things. So I did opt to do that, but I was still looking just in case there were cars on there that I didn't like or they didn't have something that I really wanted. She asked me questions like what color I wanted, what style car. Obviously I did want an SUV. I want an SUV so bad, but it's okay. I'm more than grateful because honestly, my very first car that I wanted was a Honda Elantra, and it wasn't this year. Like this year it didn't even come out yet. But I did want one. Like it was perfect for what I thought was my budget at the time. But you know, things happen and that's okay. I told her color, I told her style of car. So I told her I wanted an SUV, but I was open to sedan. So honestly, whatever you could find in my budget with those little parameters. So the color, I really wanted a black or a white car, but I was open to like a gray. I didn't want silver. Interior, I said I wanted black, but I was like, honestly, send me what you have, because I'd rather have a bunch of options and be able to narrow it down than not know or completely cut out something that I didn't even consider. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing. And then she was like, okay, well, do you want cars? Like some cars have been in an accident, but it might have been minor or things like that. I was like, no, I don't want a car that has been in an accident. I want a car that has had more than one owner. And I also looked at the Carfax as well, because I didn't want a car that came from either up north or was in Florida, because both of those areas tend to, because of like snow and all the water and salt water, all those things, they tend to have rust issues, and you don't want that, because my old car had that and the car before it had it as well. So make sure that you're looking at the Carfax as well. And another good tip that I learned from them was looking at the JD Power report. I think that's what it is. JD report, one of those. It basically tells you the value of the car. So let's say the car is like $18,000, but it's actually only worth $16,000. So you don't want to be overpaying for a car that's not even worth that amount as well. So that is really important too. I think she did tell me that with my budget, the car had to at least be 2019 and up. Perfect. Maybe I was coming from a 2009, which is not too bad, but like I just wanted something a little newer, you know. So anything over 2019, I didn't care. Honestly, I didn't care if it was over 2020. What did I say? I think like 2015, because my very first car was 2015. I was like, at least I had Bluetooth. I didn't have nothing in my other car. Like I had to use my aux. I didn't have nothing. And I had a 2009 Toyota Corolla, but loved her down. I would still be driving her. She didn't break down. Trust, I would still be in her. Another question is how does the process go when you get to the dealership once you get the loan and all that stuff? So once they found my car, I picked it. I was like, okay, I want to see this. I want to test drive it. I had options. I can either get it delivered and test drive it, but if you get it delivered and you test drive it, it's not like you can give it back. It's more so you test driving to make sure that nothing's wrong with it. But technically, if they deliver it, it's yours. So I was like, no, because if I get it and I don't like it, then I would be upset. So I was like, okay, well, what's my other option? So the other option is I could go to the dealership and do the normal test drive like everybody else. So I was like, okay, cool. So what she did was call that dealership, set it up. She gave me their contact information. And you can go anytime between their hours. It kind of was just like let them know, because obviously when you get there they'll have to pull the car up and all that stuff. So I ended up going today is the 5th. I bought this car on the 2nd, so last Wednesday. I bought this car last Wednesday. I went on Wednesday, got there, they pulled the car that I originally went for, test drove it, loved it. I got out the car and I did my whole walk around, because I had went with my dad. I know a lot of people say it's good to go with the man, but I went with my dad, and I was like, I love this car. It was everything. Now the car that I originally drove, it looked just like this one on the outside. The only difference was the tires. Those tires on that one were all silver, and this one has like black and silver, but the same color, all those things. The interior is what was different. The interior on that one, that was a base model, so it didn't have that whole dashboard thing like y'all seen in the car tour. It did have the radio, but it wasn't touchscreen, so it had the buttons on the side. It wasn't push to start, and the interior was black, and it didn't have a sunroof as well. What else? That was it. But she had like a digital, but the setup was different. But I test drove it, I liked it or whatever. And then once I seen the front, it had paint chipping, and it didn't have that online. He ended up telling me it happened probably while it was on the lot, because they had been doing reconstruction and revamping and stuff and all that, so it might have happened while on the lot. That wasn't gonna make me buy it. Because I currently had a paint chipping issue on my car. I'm like, why would I go and get a car that has it already? You know, I wanted something. If I was gonna be paying all this money, it needed to be new, it needed to be perfect. So I was like, I can't do it or whatever. And then it had a dent on one of the sides. I was like, no. So he tried to find all these other cars for me. It just didn't really work out. I was like not open to those options, because they just didn't really fit what I wanted. I already kind of was changing what I really wanted, because I really wanted the SUV, but to be honest, it just wasn't, it's not the right time for me to get that car. And I was fine with that, and that's why I was like, I just prayed about it, and I was getting out of my head, like, at the end of the day, I need a car. It's not a want, it's literally a need. I needed a way to get to work. I needed a way to be able to do the things that I was already doing, going to the gym, hanging out with my friends, like doing things again. I didn't have that because I hadn't had a car for almost 3 weeks at that point. But I also didn't want to settle, because this is something, like I said, this is a lot of money, and I'm putting this money down. I want something that I actually want. So yeah, that was that. Me and my dad are like, okay, it's just time to go. He doesn't have anything that we want. Unfortunately, I was like, I really don't want to have to go back home. I had drove all the way to Smyrna, which is like an hour, or it might have been a little over an hour at that point, because of how far we were with the traffic and everything, from where I live. And I was like, I need a car today. Like, I took off work. I'm not wasting no day of me not going to work to not get a car, you know. Like, I literally dedicated this whole day to try to get a car. So that's why my dad was like, okay, if he don't have anything, we need to leave. Like, we're wasting time. And I was like, yeah, I agree and all that. So what we ended up doing was kind of walking around a lot, and then the man came out. He was like, I might have a solution for you. And I was like, okay, what you got? He didn't really say what the car was, which is funny. I was just like, I don't know, because I also was looking at a K5. My dad is big on negotiating, things like that, getting stuff, but he would not put the car in my budget. Like, it was so close, but I was like, it can't be over this, and I'm not putting no money down. And he tried to do the same thing with this car, which, hey, God worked it out. And my dad made it very clear that we were not putting no money down, and it has to be under this certain amount, or we're not getting it. And you know, sometimes sell people really want that money, and I have money to spend. Like, I'm ready to spend it. Like, I need a car. I need one. So they worked out a deal. I ended up getting this car. I was like, I have to get it. Now, one thing about this car, being that it is used, it does have a ding in the front. The ding is like at the bottom. It was like, I honestly didn't see it until I re-walked around it. And I'm like, oh my God, he'd have brought me another one with the bump, like a ding. I had already fell in love with this car, and I was like, oh yeah, this car, I'm getting it. Then I walked around it, and I saw that, and I was like, oh my God. So me and my dad were just looking at each other, like, talking, and then he was like, let us decide. give us like an hour, we'll go get some food or whatever. And so once the guy left, he went back in the dealership, and me and my dad were talking, and I was like, he was like, don't settle on this car if that's gonna bother you. But I'm like, the placement of it and all of that, I feel like I'm getting everything that I want inside and out, from the rims to the color, the push to start, the sunroof, the lights, the display, the look, the newness, the year, everything. And I was like, am I really gonna let this little crack at the bottom stop me from getting this car? And I was like, really thinking about it, because yes, it does make sense. Like I said, I am putting a lot of money down, but where would I be able to get all these options, the low mileage? This car has 18,000 miles for a 2022. The other car that I went there for had 53,000 miles, and I still have warranty on this car. Like, I just feel like I was getting so much, and it was like that one thing. Am I really gonna let that stop me from getting this car? And I really just sat there and thought about it. I'm like, it doesn't bother me that bad. Even besides the fact that I needed a car and I was like low-key desperate, it doesn't bother me. Like, yes, I know it's there, but I don't care. I got a new car. Like, that is literally the only thing. You have to be looking so hard to see it. And it's something that can be fixed. So I just was like, I want it. It took us all of maybe 20 minutes of talking, walking around the car, looking at it, opening the doors again, just looking at all the features, everything. I was like, I have to have it. Also, another thing with the Limited, the material of the seats is like that soft leather versus like that cloth kind of material, if you know what I'm talking about, like that cloth mesh. And I was like, okay, I did like that. I said I didn't want a leather car, but leather seats, but these don't really feel like leather. They don't really get hot either. Like, obviously I don't have any tint right now, so tint will be coming. I do not like a fishbowl. Also, sorry, I have been meaning to make this video for so long, and I'm like, I keep being like, oh, I have to look like this when I make the video. Y'all get in this video right now. Like, I did freshen up my hair a little bit, but I'm like, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is literally me living in the moment, and I'm still in shock. I've had this car for 3 days, and I still, every time I come out the house and I get in this car, I'm like, this is really my car. Like seriously. The first day that I was driving in it, I already cried. I played my gospel like I always do, and just really just sat in the moment. I'm about to cry now. But yeah, I'm just really, I don't know, I'm just really excited and everything, and then I'm just so happy. This is embarrassing. I don't know, it's just, I'm really, really grateful that I even can buy myself something new and something I want. And I don't want to cry. Okay, we're good. We're good. But I'm just really grateful, and I'm really happy, and I love my car. So I can't wait to do all the good things. I did take some of the things from my old car, so like this, because it didn't look that bad, I did get a new steering wheel cover, so it matches this. I like the bling, but I don't like the silver bling, so I wanted something that was a little more subtle. So I got the black rhinestones instead of the silver ones. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. And that is, I just turned it off. But that's the car, and that was the story. I took her home. I didn't even get to set it up. I had to go. I had to make 2 orders and ship them out that day because I was waiting on other delays from other stuff, and it was just a lot. So when I finally had got home, like almost at night, I finally got to actually sit with the car, set it up, do the Bluetooth, all those things. So I'm just really grateful. I can't stress that enough. But if y'all have any other questions that I might not have answered, or are interested in this car or the process of getting a car and who I went to specifically, all those things, make sure you drop them down below. But thank y'all for watching this video. Hope you learned something, and stay tuned for more videos because I have a lot of ideas coming, and we're gonna make this a journey. And maybe next video I'll look a little better. But this is real raw and this is me. So yeah. I love you guys, and stay tuned for the next one.